go have your MBA, marry the nice girl, boy, have the children, and then when you are 60 or 70, you can go Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Then no, just enough. You start your spiritual journey right now, and it will pay dividends. Taking all of that rage out and throwing it at Kali Amma, and she was drinking it up like blood. She's literally drinking it up like blood. I almost gave up on Upasana today. It was too much. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle what I was feeling and experiencing until I realized that none of what I was experiencing was external to who I am. Day 9 was a turning point for me. Now, to understand day 9, we need to actually go back and review day 7 and 8. I just went to the Murti and hugged her and called her Amma. And in that moment, I thought I was gonna leave my body. I disappeared. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Oneness. Bliss, oneness. I don't know. This is incredible. So on day 8, right? So I have this, again, I have this intense peak experience. Oneness, indescribable, beyond the realms of human experience. Literally merging with God, merging with Amma, merging with Shakti. Incredible, peak. So if you think about it, my level of consciousness was here. It was at the peak. It was right at the top. It was like all my energy, all my consciousness was like up here. It had risen. I was here. I was here. One with God, pretty much. That's what it felt like. You can only go as high as your roots are gonna allow you. So I'm up here. I look down, and it's like around 11 p.m. there was a huge crash that I experienced. Like, I just felt my energy, boom. It was like all of the things that I didn't want to look at within myself. In the lowest parts of my being. Shame, lust, pain, anger, rage, self-hatred, loathing, jealousy, hatred, like all of these lower, dense, rotting parts of my roots just, it's like they just appeared. They just surfaced. And so approaching midnight, I started to become ridiculously conscious of intense negative energies. And it was with this fear that I fell asleep that night. Such a stark difference to the oneness I had experienced just a couple of hours earlier. Later that night, I wake up to the most horrifying dream. And I wake up startled and shocked. I'm getting chills as I say this. And I look over to Amma. And instead of looking like the kind, beautiful mother that she is, her eyes looked negative. So I felt like I couldn't turn to her. Like, in my deepest moment of despair, in the middle of the night, all alone, I couldn't turn to Devi. So then I turned to Kala Bhairav and I just started saying the Kala Bhairav Ashtakam. Over and over, I fell back to sleep. The next morning, I awoke and it was literally like my entire karma body. Eckhart Tolle calls it his pain body, right? It was like I was suddenly entirely aware of all of the negative energy within me. All of it. I could see the entire energy. All of that dense, painful, negative energy was just sitting here like this on my left-hand side. And that's when I realized there's nothing outside of us trying to get us. It's all here. Everything is internal. And that was such a huge realization for me. It was like I was seeing all of my negative karma, past traumas, wounds, pains from thousands of lifetimes accumulated, just sitting there as one energy. And the rest of the day was a bit of a blur because I think it was too much for me. And more than anything, I was shocked that when I was in so much pain, why did her eyes look like I couldn't turn to her, and she was also trying to attack me. So I felt really shocked. Like the whole thing just felt so shocking, especially after just having experienced such a high level of consciousness. To go through this, what felt like literally hell, it was too much for me to deal with. So I distract myself during the day. I'm like going around, I'm exploring Vietnam, doing all the touristy things. I'm distracting myself, but I'm aware of this negative energy being or pain body. The evening comes. So I'm doing the Upasana every evening. I don't know why I'm getting chills while I'm talking to you guys about this, whatever. But this is important. So the evening comes, and I put on my bangles that Amma got me in Malaysia. I prepare everything. I go to sit in front of Amma, and I look at her, and I'm just enraged at her. And I'm like, why didn't you help me when I asked you to help me? I was lying in bed, traumatized, and I turned to you, and your eyes look like you were gonna attack me. You betrayed me. You betrayed me. And I was so angry that I took off my Upasana gear and flung it to the side. And I was like, I'm not doing Upasana today. I'm not doing Upasana for you today. And I felt furious at her, and I was angry at her, and I felt betrayed by her. And then at that point I had a choice. I love this. At that point I had a choice, as we all do. Either I give up on the Upasana completely, and at that point I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up because it didn't feel authentic to me. Like, here I am praising Amma online. I really needed her. She wasn't there for me. I'm done. Like that was the vibe I had. So I had a choice. Either I just in that moment quit on day 9. No more, done. I'm not doing this. Like the feeling I had and the anger that I had was like, what's the point of doing this? You're not there for me. And at that moment, I realized this is all the goddess's game. And what was actually happening was this rage I was feeling against the goddess, this anger, this fury, this hatred, this like betrayal. None of that was about Devi or was about the goddess. It was about my relationship with my mom. And that rage had lived in me for so long, for such a big part of my life. And in that moment, I had a choice. Either I turn away from that rage because it's too painful. And in turning away from that rage, I turn away from Devi, I turn away from Upasana, and this story ends here. This spiritual journey, this opportunity to achieve oneness with Shakti ends here. And that choice was there. That was choice number 1. Choice number 2 was I made a commitment to God to do a 48-day Upasana. And if Amrita makes a commitment, that too to you guys who have just been there my whole life, if I make a commitment to you, I will see it through even if I die in the process. And so I'm so blessed because in that moment, there was a higher intelligence that came to me that said, instead of turning away from the rage you feel right now, turn to Kali Amma and throw the rage at her. And I've never done that before to God. I've always been so polite with God, like, dear Krishna, I love you. Like just very well behaved. This was the first time I stood in front of Kali Amma and I was like, I just, all the rage and all the words that I needed to get out of my system, I threw it at Amma. I threw it at Kali Amma. And she is the goddess of the universe. She just absorbed it. And the more I threw that rage and the hate and the venom at her, she just absorbed it. She just absorbed it. She just absorbed it and she transmuted it. She transmuted it. So what actually started happening that evening was I was on my bed wailing and yelling and just taking all of that rage out and throwing it at Kali Amma. And she was drinking it up like blood. She was literally drinking it up like blood. And it was all pouring out of me, and she was drinking it up, drinking it up, drinking it up. And I was on the bed shaking. The body was literally shaking and letting go of years and years and lifetimes worth of sadness, you guys. Because when you really, really look under the blanket of rage, what you end up seeing is just a deep heartbreak and sadness. And it all just started. It was like I was breaking myself into a million pieces and giving everything to Kali Amma, and she was just taking it all in, transmuting it. And I don't know how long this went for. I think it went for a couple of hours, to be honest. My body was shaking. All the trauma was leaving. I was exhausted. I was crying. I was wailing. I don't know what my neighbors were thinking, but that's cool. Because a girl has to spiritually ascend. You know what I'm saying? So this went on for a few hours. And then I literally just was on the bed, not passed out, but if you've ever had this level of healing, and I have had this before, by the way, not to this extent, but almost to this extent with Kala Bhairav, separate video. But I've done a lot of this sort of intense, fearless healing work before. This was the most intense. This was the most intense, the most raw, the most authentic. And at the end of it, I was just lying on the bed, exhausted. And when you do this sort of stuff, your body just experiences this level of exhaustion. All you want to do is sleep. But I didn't. I got back up and I finished the Upasana for that day. And then I went to sleep. Like she slept like an intense sleep. And when I awoke the next morning, my whole life had changed, you guys.
It's day 10 and I am still here doing this Upasana, and I'm so proud of myself. I didn't give up. You know, I'm just gonna say this, the best thing about me is my grit. And when it comes to spiritual commitments like this or spiritual work like this, I said I was gonna do 48 days. I'm gonna do 48 days. Like, it's sort of like what Will Smith says. Like, I may not be the best runner, but if it's me versus you and we are on a treadmill, I'm ready to die on that treadmill. And I kept my commitment. I'm here. It's day 10. Nothing is gonna break me on this Upasana.
It was like I was waking up into a new planet. You know how in Hinduism there are different lokas? Each of those lokas are not only physical realms, but they're also levels of consciousness. And the next morning I woke up into a different level of consciousness. And it was like the curse of heartbreak, the depth of self-hatred, that wailing, intense, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching energy that had been in my life for the entire first half of my life, she had annihilated it.
One thing that has definitely disappeared is anxiety. There was always an anxiety in me, in my day-to-day. I would wake up anxious. My mind would be in this state of fear constantly. And I had to do so much work just to get that weak mind to focus and approach things calmly and with strength. After yesterday, that anxiety has been decimated by her. It has been decimated by her. Yesterday, we cleared many, many lifetimes worth of trauma.
And I awoke as a different being. even when you look at me in this video, right? Like, this is actually, I think it's like day 26, 27, 28 of the Upasana. I'm different. You can tell. Like, go look at the beginning of this Upasana video to like the beginning vlogs, like the first few vlogs versus now. Like, you can tell the difference, right? My face looks different. I look different. I like that next day, the 10th morning, I woke up as a victor, because that decision, that one decision, we always have a choice in our life. Even in our spiritual journey, there's always a choice. Do I back down, or do I go all in even if I die trying? And I think what makes me amazing at spiritual work and this spiritual journey is that I'm not afraid. Like, take me where you need me to go. I gave you my word. I'm doing this Upasana. I'm going to do this Upasana, even if it kills me. And on the 9th day, it did feel like a part of me died. A big lower level part of me flowed away in the river. That part is over. And then she awoke. Guys, I can literally see into the house next door, and she's probably like, what is this chick doing? But I don't care, it's fine. I awoke into a new reality. What I will say is this. There is not enough emphasis placed on spiritual work. And especially as young people, we always hear like, oh, that's okay. Like, focus on like material stuff first. And when you're 60 or 70, you can go to an ashram and think about God then. Firstly, how do you know you're going to live that long, right? I don't even know if I'm going to live, like, am I going to make it through the rest of today? I don't know. So if you don't even know how long you're going to live for, don't you want to use every second that you are here? Don't you want to use your high level of human consciousness to find the truth, to seek the truth, to find God, to be one with God? Don't you want every moment of your being, your every moment of existing, don't you want it to be full of the juice, the nectar of the divine? Don't you want that? There is no age bar to starting the spiritual journey. Don't delay this. This spiritual journey is the greatest thing that you will ever accomplish. The single greatest pursuit of human existence is this. Is the pursuit of the divine and the merging of you into oneness and consciousness. There is no greater thing than this. All right. And at a very practical level, let's make it really practical, because that's what we all talk about, right? Like, how is this going to help me make money? How is this going to help me succeed in the material world? You tell me this. You tell me this, brother. All right. If you look at the version of me before, all right, with all of that pain and self-hatred, do you think that version of me would be capable of achieving incredible goals? No. That version of me would have self-sabotaged every single day. That version of me had no chance. This version of me that I have literally shaped in the fire. I have shaped this version of me in the fire of spirituality, in the fire of spiritual pursuit. This version of me, they just need to say the word and I can change the world. Right? So spirituality, like you guys, like, get on it. You are never too young to start this process. You are never too young to give yourself to this process. Becoming spiritual doesn't mean that you automatically deny yourself of material bliss and material success. All it means is that everything that you do in the physical realm, everything that you do in the spiritual realm, everything just connects to a higher power. That's it. Watch me build something incredible in the material world just by focusing on my spiritual self. This is on camera now. Watch me. Watch me. So the next time someone comes to you and says, what is all of this spiritual? You wait until you are 70. No, like you go making the money, you go get into FANG, go have MBA, marry the nice girl, boy, have the children. And then when you are 60 or 70, you can go Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Then no, just enough. You start your spiritual journey right now and it will pay dividends. Not only in terms of your inner success, your inner bliss, your passion, your gorgeousness, the way you live, the ecstasy you feel, the bliss you feel, the oneness you feel with everything around you, the joy, right? It's not only going to pay dividends internally, it's going to pay dividends externally as well. Because everything that you do from now will be towards a higher purpose, and everything that is towards a higher purpose, towards dharma, will succeed. And you watch my life change as I pull myself further and further higher in my consciousness through spirituality. Watch my material success increase as a result. Take this as a live experiment. Oh my God, I don't know. That was so intense. I don't even know who made me say all of that, but I said it and it came through me. All right. So yeah. So that's day 9, 10, and 11 of Devi Upasana. And I'm going to see you in the next vlog. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah. Just wanted to say I love you. Thank you for being here with me in this journey. There is much that we need to achieve together for the highest good. All right. So we're going to do that together for our deities, for the highest good. I'm hype. Let's go.